Happening, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And after two defeats in the last week against Manchester City and Juventus, Chelsea are aiming to stop it becoming three defeats on the bounce when they host Southampton at Stamford Bridge on Saturday afternoon. Joining me to preview the game is Chelsea fan James. James, thanks for joining me as always. This game is always an important one anyway, because all games are important. But with those two back-to-back losses, this has kind of taken on some added significance, and it's kind of in the camp of must win, because you don't want to head into the international break on the back of three straight defeats.
No, definitely not. I mean, I was saying to you before the show anyway, like I think this type of game is a must win anyway. If you want to win the league, you've got to be beating Southampton at home. These are the types of games where, titles are won and lost. Rarely is it decided in the big games versus, Man City or whatever. Like, even though we lost to them, they've lost a game already. And Liverpool drew on the weekend, obviously. So I think, look, while people, two losses in a row is bad, we're still, if you look where we're at the table, I think a lot of people would have taken out at the start of the season. We've got a decent number of points. Had a tough few fixtures, Liverpool, City. Obviously, Liverpool, we also got a man sent off and we played really well on that. We lost, I think someone, David James was saying earlier on Sky Sports, looking back last season, we lost to Arsenal and Leicester 2 matches in a row, obviously in the FA Cup and stuff. And we managed to get through that. Like, Tuchel's been in this position before. We got a better squad than last year. I fully expect us to come back. I don't think we're going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, not going to implode like Mourinho kind of style season or Conte, second season kind of thing. But yeah, look, I think it's definitely a must win, and the boys should be up for it.
Yeah, it's as you say, it's certainly not panic stations. To lose against Manchester City is no shame in that at all. And Juventus away is always a tough game, and it's the second game of the Champions League group, so it's not going to have too much bearing on that group. And ultimately, as long as we go through, it's kind of irrelevant. But how concerned are you that we haven't scored in the last 2 games, and we've not really looked like scoring either? The top end of the pitch has been a little bit of a problem. We're obviously not utilising the best of Lukaku. We're not playing to his strengths. I'm finding it really frustrating that we're not playing balls into feet. We're not putting balls into the box. Mason Mount should be fit to return. That would be a massive plus to the front three. But who do you think joins him? Because Havertz, Werner, Ziyech have really not done anything to warrant an inclusion there.
Yeah, it's a tough one, really. I mean, what's weird is that against City, we seem to lack confidence up front, and Tuchel went with quite a defensive lineup, so there was no bridge between the attack and the midfield. And I think he's got to take the blame for that, because we should have been full of confidence, and we're a better team than last year. And if we beat them 3 times last year, we should definitely be thinking about beating them again. So that was a weird one. Then last night, I almost thought that we went too much with the press. So when we lost the ball, we were really vulnerable on the counter-attack against the speed of Chiesa and whatever. And obviously we didn't have Conte and those kind of players. But as you said, the attack again just wasn't linking, and something wasn't gelling. And their defence again, they were deep block. They managed to sort of stifle us. But yeah, Ziyech's a weird one. He had a really good preseason. Everyone thought, right, okay, this is his time to kick on. Had that unfortunate injury after he scored in the Super Cup. And then since then, his touch has been off. I've seen a couple of games live in person, just hasn't. He presses, kind of in the same way that Havertz does as well, but just nothing comes off. And yeah, Werner, obviously, we all know about that. There's no point really going into that. But Havertz, again, another player you thought this season might kick on, hasn't really happened. Pulisic has been injured. I do think Pulisic is the one player out of our forwards who offers something different from all the others. He runs at players, he dribbles, whereas the other players don't really do that. But as you said, we're clearly missing Mount. He's the bridge between the midfield and attack, and he presses and leads the line, and then comes back in the midfield to do dirty work, comes up for up top to try and link up with Havertz and Lukaku. And I think Lukaku, as good as he's been, can't do it all by himself, and he's just starved. And I think we're also missing something from the wing backs. Having Reece James, someone like that. Aspi just doesn't do the same sort of job. And Alonso, he had a really good start to the season. It's been a bit iffy, and I think it's time to get someone like Chilwell in who can also contribute, up front as well.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention, I think the wing backs have been an area where we've been struggling. Obviously, Reece James going off against City. Azpilicueta, fantastic defender, has been outstanding for the club over his career, but he's getting to that age now where he can't be bombing up and down that flank like Reece James does. He's not really too much of a threat going forward, and I think when you play the system we play, you've got to get width from those wing backs, and Reece James coming back into the side, I think, will be a big plus. As you said, Alonso's had a great start to the season, but the last couple of games, he's not been at it. City, he wasn't great. And obviously, Juve subbed at half-time, quite a poor performance. Do you think it's now time for a run for Ben Chilwell?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I saw Chilwell against Villa in the Carabao Cup, and he wasn't like great or anything, but you got to give these clubs. He hasn't played for a while. You got to give him a run of games, and I think like he is our number one left wing back going forward. Alonso is great in this system and whatever, but we all know we bought Chilwell because he's a better defender. He's got more energy. He can get up and down better than Alonso can. Alonso is a great asset to have, and he's a great backup to Chilwell. He offers threat and attack, set pieces, all these kind of things, and on his day, Alonso is a great left wing back, but I think it's time for a change, as you said. Like, he's been a bit iffy in the last 2 games against much better opposition. And although he was great against Tottenham, which isn't an easy team to play against necessarily, all the other games were, kind of Aston Villa at home, those kind of Crystal Palace, those kind of games. We kind of need that high quality left wing back that Chilwell is. Towards the end of last season, Champions League, he was great. All those runner games. So yeah, I think it's time for him to come back in and show us, what he can do.
I mean, Southampton obviously going to come to Stamford Bridge, and they haven't won a game this season in the league. They're probably going to sit in behind the ball. We've seen it with Zenit. We do. It is hard to break teams down. They just come and put everyone behind the ball at the bridge. How do you think that's going to be? Do you think we're going to struggle to break them down again? We're going to need to be patient. We're going to need players that pick up the ball and run with it. Do you think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is in with a shout of starting against Saints? Because I think he was great in the cup against Villa. Really good cameo when he came on against City. And I thought against Juventus, he was really bright as well. He's got to be close now.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see him. I would absolutely love to see him play. I don't know how he fits in with the formation we play. I know Tuchel's been mixing up with the 3-man midfield recently. And maybe he could even try a 4-3-3 or something to accommodate him. But yeah, I'd love to see him play. Maybe even in the double 6. I don't know if that's his best position or whether he could play in that. But yeah, I think, to be honest, in the past 2 weeks, he's been the most positive thing to come out of all our games, I think. He runs with the ball, he holds it up well, he takes players on, he looks confident. And yeah, I'd really like to see him get a chance. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. Tuchel has been bringing him on as a sub. He's been reluctant to start him in the bigger matches. But yeah, maybe this is his chance this weekend, and I'd love to see him out. I love Loftus-Cheek. I think he's a great player, and I'd love to see him thrive at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think it's particularly, as I said, with the teams that come and sit behind the ball, you need players from the midfield that are going to drive forwards. And as great as Jorginho and Kovacic are, they don't really drive forward with the ball like Ruben does. So I'd like to see him in there. Whether we see him or not remains to be seen. Just a quick word on Southampton, James. Obviously, not won a game this season in the league. Nothing to lose coming to Stamford Bridge. They've got a couple of threats. I think, obviously, our Academy Player of the Year last season, Tino Livramento, the fullback, will be coming back. He's had a great start to the season. James Ward-Prowse in the middle, and then another Chelsea loanee in the Albanian forward Brozier up front. Do you think they've got enough to cause us any problems?
Yeah, I mean, they were sort of our bogey team for a little bit in the last 2 seasons. They won a few games at the Bridge. They scored a few goals against us. Obviously, without Ings, they're less of a threat. But yeah, I mean, look, Livramento is a really good player, and they have played some good football under Hasenhüttl, I think, who's a decent manager. Obviously, haven't won a game yet this season, but he's done well in past seasons. Yeah, I mean, they can offer a threat always. Any team in the Premier League can, but we should be winning this game hands down. There's no question about that. It would be a shock result if we lost. So yeah, I fully expect us to win. But as anyone says, and it's become a cliche now, Premier League, anything can happen. Doesn't matter where it's Southampton. whether it's Burnley, all these teams offer a threat because, you know, on their day, they can cause any top team a problem.
Yeah, and, you know, anyone can beat anyone in the Premier League. That's the beauty of it. But, you know, great sides, and if we're going to win the league, good sides don't lose 3 on the spin. So it's vital that we return to winning ways before that international break. But that's just myself and James's thoughts ahead of the game against Southampton on Saturday. Hopefully Chelsea can return to winning ways and head into the international break on the back of a win. As always, guys, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and we'll catch you in the next one.